Hi everybody, Amber here with the Peoria Public Library, and I've got a great quick craft for you today. Today we're going to do some decoupaging. Decoupaging is an old method for decorating, putting items on, images onto items that wouldn't normally have images. But about 50 years ago now, a woman came up with a great formula that's pretty ubiquitous. If you have not used it, you have probably seen it, and that is Mod Podge. Mod Podge is for modern decoupage, and this material makes decoupaging so much faster because it is a quicker drying and better sealing, easier sealing material than the old way of doing decoupage. Now, if you don't have Mod Podge at home or you don't want to go buy some, you can actually just use standard white glue, but you do want to mix it a 1-to-1 ratio with water. So if you have a 1/4 cup of glue, you need a 1/4 cup of water, and you need to mix it up really good so that it's all thinned out and perfectly even. You don't want watery at the top and sticky at the bottom. So get either your Mod Podge or your white glue. Then you need to find something to brush with. So I like to use standard like 1-inch foam brushes because one, I have a lot of them. Two, they just make a really nice even coat with your brushes. If you want to use a bristle brush, that's perfectly fine. Where I am in my studio up here, I don't have a water source, and I'm always afraid that I'm going to ruin a really good brush, and if I ruin a foam brush, I'm not nearly as upset. So we got our glue, we got our brushes, now we need a few other things. I like to keep a little vessel of water, which this is apparently open, so don't shake it. This is for me to rinse off my brushes in between doing projects so that the glue does not harden into the brush. I was obviously doing some decoupage earlier today, hence the cloudy water. Some other materials I like to keep on hand for when I'm doing decoupage is I like to keep a pair of scissors so that if my thing I am planning to decoupage to something, my picture or whatever, I can cut it to size. I like to keep a foam tray around, and this is so that I can lay the item down while I'm gluing it and it doesn't get on my cutting board surface. So I'll put that right there. My decoupage was falling. Then what you need is you need what you are going to decoupage on and what you are decoupaging. So you can do a number of things with decoupage because it's super versatile. So you can use ceramic tiles. You can use glass jars. Recommendation, and not so much a recommendation, but point of order, in that you should not use this as something that is food safe. Decoupage is, Mod Podge and white glue are not food safe. There's not really a way to make them food safe. So if you're going to put this onto like a glass jar or onto a plate, make sure it's for decorative purposes only and you're not going to eat off of it. You can do decoupage onto glass stones. You can do wood boxes. You can do wooden frames. One of my favorite things to decoupage on, Altoids tins. I can't throw these away because I think they make really fun craft things. So decoupage onto the top or bottom of them. You can also do wood slices. I got these out of the craft section. So really, you've got all kinds of options to decoupage on. Then you need what you're going to decoupage on. So I have, again, a ton of things. I have pictures from an old day-by-day calendar. Speaking of calendars, I have big pictures from a calendar that a friend sent me a number of years ago. I have stickers of variety types and styles that I can use. I have real, actual photographs that I can decoupage on. I have decorative paper. I have tissue paper left over from Christmas. I have fabric. All of these will work for decoupage. Do make sure to give yourself some trial and error in case what you plan to do doesn't work out quite the way you think. But in general, I haven't had a lot of problem with decoupaging something to something else. So you've got your item, you've got your picture. So what I like to do is I like to set this down into my tray. So again, I don't get the glue everywhere. And you take your brush, you put some decoupage medium on it, and give it a good thorough coat. You don't want it too thick, especially if it's paper, because it's going to start to curl and warp because it's paper and it's getting wet. Then you want to take the item that you're going to decoupage on and give that a good coat with the decoupage medium. Once you've got your material you're going to decoupage on, you want to stick it sticky to sticky and push it down. Make sure to get any air bubbles that come out. Your edges are going to start to curl up. Make sure you have enough decoupage material in between them to get them good and flat, and use your fingers to go from the center to the outside. Once you get your item all the way pressed down to the edges, then what you're going to do is you're going to get more decoupage medium and you're going to go over the whole thing. So, good example here, I've got a picture of some cousins of mine. I put the decoupage, I decoupaged it to this, and then I painted right over it to make sure that the edges were sealed and to give it a nice protective finish. I usually let that dry until it's not tacky to the touch. You can usually tell when it's drying how sticky it is. It's kind of like nail polish. You don't want to touch it because you'll get fingerprints on it. Then I like to give it a second good coat. And that's just to kind of get the edges a little more even because obviously this is an added layer. I just want to add a little bit more to seal it all in and seal it really good. Now, Mod Podge does have an extra step that you can do that does require an extra craft supply, and that is you can seal it with an acrylic sealer. Mod Podge makes their own brand, but you can buy acrylic sealer from hardware stores and from craft stores, and it's a spray can. So what you want to do if you're going to do that, you need to do it in a well ventilated area, preferably outside. Right now is not a good time to do it outside, but if you're feeling froggy, by all means. I will say the acrylic spray stinks. It smells so bad, but give it a couple of good light coats. Spray it down, follow the directions, wait about 15 minutes, 30 preferable, and spray it again and let it dry really good. And that will put an added layer of protection to whatever you've decoupaged. Once you have your items sealed and ready for use, depending on what it is, you may have to do some extra things. I made these glass tiles. I got these glass stones out of the craft section. I also bought some magnetic buttons. I stuck one to the back with a little bit of extra Mod Podge, and this lives on my refrigerator. I took some smaller glass stones and I actually just Mod Podged a thumbtack to the back, and now I've got something to go on my corkboard that's mine and decorated. If you're going to make coasters, the bottoms are not really good for any surfaces, especially wood or glass that you might put your coasters on. So you may want to consider getting some felt buttons or even some cork tile. Got these out of the craft section. They're pretty inexpensive. These you can cut to the whole size, or you can cut it down into like 1-inch squares and stick it in the corners to protect whatever surface you're putting it on. I made some wood coasters where I actually did what's called fussy cutting. I cut down pretty much exactly to this picture and then did it onto here to kind of have more of the background. Mod Podge does come in an extreme glitter version, so it has the glitter already in it. But if you don't have the extreme glitter version and you want some glitter into your Mod Podge, you can do it a couple different ways. You can add your glitter to your decoupage medium. So if you're using the glue method, you can stir it right in. If you're just using Mod Podge, you can stir it in as well. Or your other option, you can do like I did with this. Once I had the item affixed, I went over it with my first coat, and then I took my glitter, and I just dusted it across until I was happy with it. I waited until this was dry. I took my Mod Podge and I put another coat on it to seal all the glitter in so that it doesn't flake off. And then when I get a moment, I will take a crack at it with the acrylic sealer to make sure that that glitter doesn't move. You can really go far with this. You can do so many things with it. You can make so many personal items. I'm making a set of coasters for my sister that has pictures of my nephew on it. I'm also making a set of coasters for my aunt, because those are her grandbabies. Just a lot of fun that you can do. You can really personalize and take things to the next level, and for a really low price. So have fun, decoupage a bunch of stuff, use up craft materials that you already have in your home, whether it's stickers that you have laying around, leftover tissue paper from Christmas or birthday. You can't stand to throw away Altoids tins either. Decorate the Altoids tins and use them for something else. I actually use mine for other craft supplies. When I'm sewing, I have a box of safety pins, so I have decoupaged on that one a sign that says safety pins. Have fun, get wild with it, and as always, if you have questions about decoupaging, come by the library and see what we have and what we can look up for you. And we hope to see you in the library soon now that we've reopened, but continue to be safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.